First, Usher Raymond IV entered the spotlight as an adolescent. Nobody have predicted the incredible journey ahead. A voyage marked not only by chart-topping hit sold-out stadia, but by deep personal challenges, devastating losses, and problems that would test the choreographer himself. Today, he confronts his biggest challenge, made bestiary hits harder than ever. Usher recently spoke about a shocking diagnosis through entertainment. The 1947 icon admitted he has been diagnosed with lymphoma carcinoma of the lymphatic system, disease discovered at stage 2, receiving medicine and radiotherapy. An emotional video social media, Usher addressed his fans directly, his voice steady but emotional. "I want to steal this opportunity to thank everyone. This is not only lip service, but deeply off my heart. Many thanks for the messages." He described family support, friends, co-workers, and fans valuable amid this trying time. "Things have been tough lately. Weeks, but I'm hopeful. I just hope to perform again soon. I will fight for that, and hopefully soon we can celebrate united," he said with typical determination. His label supported him, publishing a support without wavering. "We will try everything to assure Usher gets the best care. Wish him and his family strength optimism in this struggle against the illness." Latest challenge adds another part of a life already lived, fantastic highs and terrible lows. To understand Usher's our resilience in facing this diagnosis must return to the beginning, to a Chattanooga boy, Tennessee, discovered his voice in a church choir and dreamed about something more. Born October 14, 1978, Usher Raymond IV was raised in realm where music was escape and salvation. Janetta was raised by his mother. After his parents divorced, Patton young Usher found comfort and expression his grandmother sang that recognized his talent early, urging him join the local church choir. When that Sunday, he was 9 mornings before congregation, giving his heart gospel hymns, founded everything after. His mother saw something wonderful in her son, spark worthy of fostering strong will and unshakable belief. Janetta became more than parent. She managed him, his defender. She moved the trip to Atlanta, Georgia, with growing music scene that offered opportunities Chattanooga couldn't bet, a leap of trust that would impact their lives forever. In Atlanta 12-year-old Usher entered a local talent show. His performance captivated music executive who noticed raw talent in young singer. Before long, Usher auditioned for Love Face Records, legendary label. Antonio L.A. Reid co-founded standing Kenneth Babyface Edmonds before these industry giants. Usher sang had everything. Reid later remembered being struck not only by boy's voice, but by his presence, confidence, his stardom. Just 13 years old, Usher inked his first recording contract. But path from potential young talent to superstar, his self-titled, his 1994 first album 15 garnered little notice, but missed a big commercial opportunity. Pressure was huge. Record labels are companies that creative development requires patience. Usher may have been another cautionary tale. A young singer promising, yet never fulfilled, instead provided this early setback fueled it. In assessing the album's performance failure, Usher and his staff regarded it as learning, a foundation to build. He spent the next few years perfecting his technique, researching to evolve not only as great vocalist, performer, and artist. He worked with famous producers Jimmy Jam, Jermaine Dri, Terry Lewis, learning from them, pushing himself beyond comfort zone. When My Way dropped in 1997 revealed what Usher Raymond IV was capable. The CD revealed a mature musician, a passionate ballad singer, terrible sincerity, and uptempo you make music infectious. Moi Wanna was his first gold single, reaching number 2 on Billboard Give Him Hot 100 slowly. His first number 1 album that has sold nearly 6 million copies, in Usher had only the US that arrived without looking back. The sequel 8701201 release reinforced his status R&B royalty. Songs like You Remember Me and You Got It Bad ruled radio and music videos. Both hit the Billboard Hot 100 top. Usher won his first 2 Grammys awards, made him more than successful artist. But cultural phenomenon impacting dance, fashion, and contemporary R&B followed. 2004 Confessions, a generation-defining album, established Usher's reputation as one of the best entertainers of his time. Working with producers mostly Jermaine Dri, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Usher made an album amazing, emotional, and sonic. Depth, sophistication. The music addressed infidelity, heartbreak, redemption with brutality. Yes, Has to Be with Lil Jon and Ludacris became global anthems, being number one for 12 weeks. Another chart topper from Burn, while Confessions Part 2 showed his vulnerability and narrative. Over 1.1 million copies of Confessions sold that initial week, eventually shifting over 10 million US unit states and 20 million plus internationally, becoming one off best-selling 2000s albums. Usher was at his best, selling out arenas globally, winning Grammy after Grammy, influencing other artists that followed. Despite his career reached unprecedented heights, his personal life was growing complex and painful. Success, it cost at the glitz and sold-out gigs. Usher navigated interactions under public scrutiny. Is Tuft, a celebrity romance with TLC member Xanda Chili Thomas, became their connection. Is tabloid, scrutinized by millions when fans and media eventually broke up. Heartbreak performed publicly, giving emotion give listeners favorite tunes weight. Usher married Tamika Foster in 2007. Stylist, he worked with professional relationship. Contentious from the start, detractors criticizing the age gap and their velocity. Couple had two sons. Usher in 2007, Raymond V. and Navided Ellie Raymond 2008. Once Usher seemed to have discovered equilibrium, the loving father and husband beside the global superstar, but public strife marred marriage. Disputes. Media 2009, Usher filed for divorce, starting a difficult process. Divorce is public. That became difficult, especially regarding custody of their two kid sons. Legal fights, accusations, heated disagreements in the news, increasing stress and anguish already difficult. The worst disaster hit in 2012, the worst way possible. Usher's 11-year-old stepson Kyle Glover is Tama's old son. Relationship was horribly involved. Lake Lane jet ski accident in Georgia. The boy was hit by a watercraft on an inner tube, injured severely in the head. Admitted to the hospital, immediately life support. But after two suffering, he was brain dead after weeks. That decision to remove life support. Kyle died July 21, 2012. The tragedy devastated Usher. Kyle was Usher's stepson that helped raise and loved him. Any child loss is heartbreaking. That capability hurts inconceivably. Who canceled shows and quit public life to grieve discreetly. Those close to him described his deep despair, his inability to understand, a senseless tragedy. 1 year, another horrific event followed. August 2013 saw Usher's 5-year-old son, Usher Raymond V., almost drowned in the family pool Atlanta home. Boy's arm became swimming pool drain, tugging him underwater. Two houseworkers tried to, they failed to release him. In a heroic moment, audio engineer Ben Cruz plunged in pool and freed the child, saving him and giving CPR. The youngster was taken to the hospital and thankfully recovered fully. But the incident resurfaced. The custody fights with Tamika, who wanted, arguing the kids need emergency custody, were hazardous, with Usher fight in court, with both passionate parents battling. Usher eventually did kept primary custody, but emotional toll of nearly losing him child plus renewed public scrutiny and legal battles overwhelming. These personal tragedies deeply usurped friends and collaborators saw changes in him. Deeper earnestness. Vulnerability was new. He channeled suffering into his music. Performers gaining emotion dimensions. Love/loss songs resonated differently, influenced by heartbreak and trauma. Over this time, Usher's professional life continued, but not without problems. Music streaming industry changed quickly. Services changed how individuals listen to new artists emerging with new sounds. Keep viewpoints relevant, necessary, continuous evolution, reinvention. Similar albums to Raymond vs. Raymond 2010 and Finding Myself 2012 demonstrated Usher testing sounds, including elements pop, dubstep, and electronica. Though mixed, some commended his willingness to risk and evolve. Others wanted classic R&B made him famous. The balance between artistic and commercial growth expectations were difficult. Love, 2016, marked our turn to R&B. But in a music scene gains dominance with hip-hop and pop collaborations. Album failed to reach massive success. Commercial success of his earlier efforts. It was a brutal reminder that longevity music industry is never guaranteed regardless skilled artist. Other than music, Usher faced controversy that threatened him reputation and security. In 2017, shocking charges that he exposed partners to herpes without consent, his status revealed. Multiple lawsuits, accusers alleged suffering and desiring millions. Usher refuted the claims and his attorneys fought the cases aggressively. but his public image suffered substantial. The charges headlines overshadowed his artistic and charity work for someone who always wanted to inspire, with music being central to such acts. Some found controversy painful. Cases were settled out of court, others disregarded, but the fog of accusations persisted, reminding how public opinion changes quickly. Usher endured these hardships. He found meaning in giving. Founded New Look Foundation in 1999, a group dedicated to youth empowerment through foundation education and mentoring, has helped thousands of needy youth learn leadership, pursue education, and improve futures. Usher found inspiration in this piece a way beyond the music positive impact. He also most mentored younger artists. Justin Bieber was noteworthy. Merely an adolescent posting vids YouTube, Usher saw his potential and guided his career. Their bond went beyond business. Usher was a father figure, providing assistance, support, and knowledge from experiences. Watching Bieber navigate early fame pressures, Usher used his own experience to aid. The youthful singer avoids some his mistakes grew over time. After passing, Usher evolved both his personal and professional life. Married his longtime spouse Grace Miguel 2015, manager wanting steadiness and partnership, but marriage too would divorce in 2018. Heartbreak and new chapter. Married Jen Goyo in 2020, music executive Chia, and together daughter Sovereign arrived in 2020, and son Sire 2021. Fatherhood again provided value. Joy and stability. Professionally, Usher revived success with his Vegas residency. Started in 2022, the show honored his amazing catalog, featuring decades of hits showing his talent, charisma, showmanship persisted. Overall, reviews were positive, with critics praising his voice, dance, and stage presence. The residency reminded everyone why Usher originally became a legend. An opportunity arose in 2024, represented confirmation and performing at Super Bowl halftime show, a popular viewed TV shows worldwide. Super Bowl halftime show is for the biggest musicians. Stepped on stage in February 2024. Performed well for critics. He rushed through beautiful fans, his best hits, special edition guests, and reminded over 100 million watchers of his fantastic contribution to music and culture. A triumphant moment, reminder of his importance and talent. On stage, Usher had every cause to feel superior. Health and career were good. Flourishing, his family increasing, his legacy was safe. But life goes on. Method to humble ourselves and remind us control is often virtual. Surprise diagnosis. Lymphoma. Just the word cancer bears weight. Fear, insecurity. For someone whose career depends on physical endurance, vocal power, limitless energy. The diagnosis stage 2 is terrifying. That means cancer spread, but remain possible treatment that use radiation and medication methods to test his body and spirit. Usher may have concealed it, kept diagnosis private, maintained invincibility. Illusion. Celebrities frequently feel compelled. He chose transparency over project. He told them the truth. The world to be so vulnerable. Courageous message to supporters were thankful. He acknowledged the challenge of recent weeks, but stressed his positivity, his desire to perform, continue doing loves. Most significantly, he framed his fight not as an individual battle, but something his fans, community, his loved ones faced him. Response has been astounding. Others he mentored were artists. His followers have sent messages. Fans worldwide support and love shared their stories of fighting disease, finding strength. Openness of Usher's label guaranteed his support. Optimal care. Gushing shows deep relationship over 3 decades. Usher has built a transcendent relationship to music entertainment that goes deeper. Profound. As Usher begins this new chapter, his health struggle and future, his narrative gets better. Resonance. This man rose from small beginnings to worldwide famous. People who most people only dream of. Suffered loss and heartache. Controversy that would have broken many. Each obstacle shaped him. Deeper, made him more than a performer. His music always been about feeling, embracing universal humanity experiences, love, desire, heartbreak, delight. Now facing cancer, he embodies another universal feeling, battle for life. That drive to win when odds are against. His positivity is amazing. Non-naive face of this diagnostic optimism, but hard-earned resilience, produced by surviving numerous storms. Considering Usher's path, themes become obvious. Important of not giving up, abandoning up after failures, disappointing debut album, or personal tragedy. Being open to change. Adapt rather than stay static power. Vulnerability showing yourself in your struggle, not just your wins. The need for community, your allies when night falls. These lessons are timely. Persevering against lymphoma that supported his early career difficulties will inspire his fight against adaptability to this disease that kept him relevant. Musical landscapes will change, help him understand treatment, his susceptibility, present challenges presenting his diagnosis creates room for real connection support. And his community, many years of music and giving lends him support. Usher's tale is new chapter is coming. Written today, not for stage or film recording studio in treatment rooms. His quiet determination, his cancer battle will test him. Ways even the hardest times. However, if his history Usher teaches us anything, Raymond Ivth resists. He survived personal catastrophe, would have ruined others, handled industry shifts, many careers. He rebuilt his reputation after scandal, personal life after heartbreak, artistic vision post-commercial disappointment. Each time he appears intact, stronger, wiser, more meaningful. The diagnosis is terrifying that, though difficult, becomes part of Greeter's story. Another test, another chance to show resilience that defines him. Usher talks on fighting to not returning to the stage, hollow boasting, but a sincere claim, decades of evading countout. The path ahead is difficult. Cancer therapy is hard, physically and emotionally draining. There will be hard days, moments, fear, doubt, setbacks. Test even the strongest will. Usher has support. Relatives, friends, co-workers, his faith, and millions of fans giving send him love and positivity. The young man has himself. That church choir boy at adolescent who persisted after a terrible debut. That man who held his son's hand in hospital. Stood on global stages, poured his heart into every performance. Who created art from pain that affected millions. That person confronts cancer with same determination, same fight, refused to surrender, carried him through every test. Usher returns to stage and believe he will. It will be more than a return. It will proof of human fortitude, optimism, and determination. To community, strength, and love. His performance will bring new meaning. Every note infused what it required to be there. Every step a celebration of life. Now, the world watches and waits. Good thoughts and prayers. Tone artist who has given much his music and example. The narrative of courage unfolds. The real-time reminder that true strength is not without dread or difficulty, but continuing to battle despite them. Guide Raymond Ivth seen great highs and terrible lows, triumph and tragedy, triumph. Defeat. Point one constant remains. His relentless drive to succeed, overcome, inspired. As he approaches this last and possibly final toughest struggle, that determination his narrative shines, teaches us life is not measured in records sold or prizes won, albeit Usher has much of both. Our response to challenges, how we handle hardship, others throughout our power, and how we discover meaning beyond success. Usher's life is over by these standards. An impressive feat. Combat continues. Tale continues being written. If history is any indication, next chapter will be one courageous, tenacious, and final victory, because he was always that inspiration, survivor, fighter. The cancer has been defeated.